I might get it. I feel like you might get it.
All right. In an effort to give you as much time to work on the Unit 3 test as possible, excuse me, we will go over the Unit 2 test as quickly as we can here, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
So, again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions as we are going through this, you need to stop me and ask me. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep moving. And the reason for that, ladies and gentlemen, is to get through this as quickly as possible. But again, if we're taking the time to go over it, I want you to take the time to hopefully understand the questions that you are being asked, or why we're putting them in certain places. So, here we go. A is a fifth period alkali metal. Fifth period is here, ladies and gentlemen. Alkali metal is group 1, so this is where A goes. Again, an easy clue like this you cannot get wrong. Okay? Those you have to absolutely nail. B is a third period halogen. Third period halogen is right there. C is a fourth period noble gas, right there. D is a second period alkaline earth metal, right there. E is a third period metalloid, here or here, that is considered to be a metal, so it has to be on the left-hand side of that bold zigzag line. Again, if I'm going too fast, you need to stop me. F is in the sixth period and can have a +4 or -4 charge as an ion, so that goes down here in the carbon family. G is in the same period as the subsidiary number of a d orbital. The subsidiary numbers. For an S, it is 0. For a P, it is 1. For a D, it is 2. And for an F, it is 3. Yes? The other one. Thank you. Good? All right. So, G is in the same period as the subsidiary number of a d orbital. That would be 2, period 2. And has a -2 ionic charge. That is the oxygen family, ladies and gentlemen. So that is where G goes. H is a seventh period element down at the bottom, with the same number of valence electrons as there are d orbitals. Okay, orbitals are the same as orientations. And for an S, there is 1. For a P, there are 3. For a D, there are 5. And for an F, there are 7. So, ladies and gentlemen, seventh period, 5 over. Which means H goes right there. Questions? All right. G, -2 is isoelectric to I. Since G is here, that means I has to be at the end of its family as the noble gas. J is an inert gas that is man-made. That goes down at the bottom here. Okay? Those are the man-made ones, or the most recently created, or however you want to say it. K has the highest ionization energy. That is the spot of helium. L is the most reactive metal. That is the spot of francium. M is sometimes considered to be a family by itself because it can act as both a metal and a nonmetal. That is hydrogen. Both N and O react with water to form a base. Both are in the period that is the same number of orientations as a p orbital. So that means it's in the third period, ladies and gentlemen, because there are 3 orientations. They need to go in these first 2 spots to react with water. Okay? N has a larger covalent radius. Covalent and atomic are the same thing, so N is first, O is second. Farhan? Nothing, that's a problem. Sign in.
have a pastor. I was with Stacy.
Okay, well, sign in anyway and mark excused. Oh! Well, it shouldn't be. You've been late for my class before. T is in the same family as F and has electrons in the F orbitals. The only electrons in the F orbitals are in 6 or 7. Since F is in 6, T has to be in 7. P, Q, R, and S are in the same family as F. So they're right here, ladies and gentlemen. R and S are nonmetals. Those are the ones at the top. P and Q are metals. Those are the ones at the bottom. R is a better insulator. That means it has to be further up. S or P is a better conductor. That means it needs to be lower than Q. Questions? U and W are both in the same period, and neither has electrons in the d orbital. That means somewhere within the first 3 periods, ladies and gentlemen. D's start filling in the 4th. Okay, they exist in the 3rd. They don't fill till the 4th. So this means first 3. Both form molecules with them that are sp3 hybrid. That means from carbon on, ladies and gentlemen. So they're going to fit right in here. U has a bent geometry. That is the oxygen family. W is trigonal pyramidal. That is the nitrogen family. That is where those two go. Questions? V is a second period element that forms an unstable trigonal planar molecule when bonded with M. That would be the boron family, and that spot is open in the second period. X is in the same period as Q and combines with Q to form a tetrahedral molecule. That is putting X as a as a halogen, because Q would be the central atom. Q is in the carbon family. So it's what other one would go with it? A halogen would go with it. That's where we put X. Y is an alkali metal in the same period as the maximum number of electrons that can fill. Oh my God, I didn't finish that clue. Oh wait, turn the paper over. That can fill any single orbital. The number of electrons that fill any single orbital are 2. So, alkali metal in period 2. That means Y goes there, ladies and gentlemen. Z is an inert gas that has electrons in the d orbitals, but not in the f. That means 4 and 5 are where the d's are, but not the f's yet. So Z has to go here because there's one already in the 4th. Questions? Okay. AA is in the same period as the number of electrons that can fill a p sublevel. That is 6. AA has the same number of valence electrons. That means 6, ladies and gentlemen. That means AA is in the oxygen family. If AA underwent alpha decay, the resulting element would be BB in 2 alpha particles. Please remember that for an alpha particle, you move back how many places? 2 back. Since there are 2 alpha particles here, you move 4 back. Here is where BB goes. If AA underwent beta decay, the element formed would be CC and 1 beta particle. Beta means you move 1 forward or 1 to the right. Since there is only 1 particle, you move 1 spot. DD and EE are 4th period elements. So they're somewhere in here. Okay? DDCC and EECC are stable compounds. Here's CC. CC is a -1. For DDCC to be a compound, if this is a -1, DD needs to be a +1. And if your compound is EECC3, this is 3 -1s for a -3. This is 1 +3 for a +3. So EE has to go there, ladies and gentlemen. Questions? Now, yesterday, Farhan and I were trying to solve this, but Farhan never placed CC on his periodic table, so that made it a lot more difficult. Yeah. Down here?
Yeah.
Because it said they were fourth period. It said they had to be in the fourth period. So the start of the clue was they were in the fourth period, then it gave us the formulas. Okay? Good question. Good question. FF and GG are next to each other on the periodic table but differ in 11 in their atomic number. Okay. That is the second and third elements in period 4 or period 5. Since period 4 has one here, it can't be here. It's got to be below it. Okay? And it says that FF has a larger atomic radius. That would have to go first, followed by GG, because atomic radius decreases as we go across. HH and II are next to each other on the periodic table but differ by 25. That's these 4 bottom spots down there, but since BB is here, that means these need to be down here at the bottom. HH is more metallic, which means it needs to be closer to francium. II further away from francium. Questions? JJ is in the same family as U and is man-made. Here's U, same family as up and down. JJ would have to be at the bottom here because that's where the man-made ones are. KK and LL are in the same family as U, so here again, KK is more electronegative, which means KK needs to be on the top. LL needs to be on the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. MM and NN are in the fourth period. These 2 spots are what's left. MM has the ionic radius of MM is larger than NN. The only way the ionic radius can be bigger is if it is a nonmetal. And NN has to be a metal. That is the only way that in the same period you can have a larger ionic radius if you are to the left, is if you have passed the nonmetal line. OO and PP are both second period elements. 2 spots left. OO has a higher ionization energy, which means it needs to be closer to where helium is. PP needs to be here. QQ and RR are fifth period elements. Again, only 2 spots left. QQ has a larger atomic radius, but smaller ionic radius. So that means QQ needs to be before the line for metals and nonmetals, and RR would have to be after it. SS minus 1 is isoelectric to J. Here's J. So SS minus 1 needs to go in the halogens. Only 1 spot left, and it is right next to J. TT and UU exist as stable single atoms. TT is naturally radioactive. Single atoms means they are noble gases. Since TT is radioactive, it goes at the bottom. UU is not radioactive, it goes at the top. WW is found by electrolysis of salt and does not occur freely in nature. So, electrolysis of a salt means you're taking the salt and you're breaking it apart. Salts are made of alkali metals and halogens, the salt formers. All the salt formers are gone. There's none left there. No space. So this has to be a halogen, because it will be so reactive that you will never find it free in nature. XX is more malleable than YY. Since there are only 2 spots left in the same period, XX needs to go first. YY needs to go second. Questions? You can use whatever you got.
Back to the EE and CC. You said it's a -1. You said it, I don't keep saying it.
Formula is EECC. I know that CC is a -1. There are 3 of them here. 3 -1s equals a -3 charge. The charge on the EE has to be +3. Since there's only one of them, that has to be a +3 to give us that +3 charge. Therefore, it has to go into the boron family. Questions? Okay, I'm going to give you a new periodic table today because you don't have a third side on your sheet of paper that you can write on. The third side is too small for you to write on. And here is the third practice test. What? Look at the board. Your final exam is on Thursday, 7:30 a.m. till 9. Paper pieces.
I hope so. What is this week? And I'm gonna get like a 30. So if you do like, get like a 2.
All right, please listen real quick before I let you go to work. Again, somebody asked, can I use these practice tests on the test? Absolutely. But here's the thing. If you're going to spend a lot of time looking up every single clue, you may not get done. Are you going to remember which test there was a clue similar to that on? I don't know, but you can use it. I got no problem with it. But you only get the 90 minutes to get your test done, your final done. Now, let me explain something real quick about your final exam. Come on. Your final exam is at 7:30 on Thursday morning, ladies and gentlemen. You need to be on time for it. If you are more than 15 minutes late, I do not let you in, and you need to come back in the afternoon on Thursday, afternoon between noon and 3, or you can come in on Friday on your day off and do it. Okay? Bring a charged computer with you if you want to use your computer for notes. Bring periodic tables, bring cheat sheets. Most importantly, bring something to write with. This sheet that I have been giving you is where you are going to put all your answers on. Can someone please tell him what the point of that blue sheet is? Could someone please tell Eric what the point of that blue sheet is?
It's more organized. It's like,
dude, these are the answers that you're going to put on this test.
exactly.
It's not so you're more organized. It's so that you have the answers.
The yellow one is more unorganized. It's not in order.
The yellow one has one clue out of order. That's what this is for.
Yeah, that's for your notes.
You're here till 9 o'clock. P, before you get here, you're not leaving the room during that time. Questions? Now, here's the other thing. I'm going to give you the rest of the hour to work on this, which means we're not going over it. Okay? But I did do this for you today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the daily agenda that you probably have never ever looked at, ladies and gentlemen. Oops, sorry. It's on the wrong screen up here. I thought I was frozen, but I wasn't. Now I am frozen. This is the daily agenda, ladies and gentlemen, that has the class videos and things on it. I did this morning, I taped myself going through periodic table number 3, just like we just did. Here's the video for it. You can check out the video after you do this. If there's time in the class today, you can start watching it. If there's not time in class, you could check it out at home. Okay? But there are the answers for the third periodic table and how I placed every clue. So it's already there for you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Questions?
Not about that.
Okay, well, let's get this out of the way first. And any questions on the final or anything for that? Now, here's what I will tell you. Generally on this final, people either do really well or really bad because they have no clue what's going on. I hope you are on that really well part. You got time to practice, ladies and gentlemen. Use your time wisely.